Is it recording now?
Yes.
Ah, okay, great. Oh, sorry.
Are you sure?
Don't worry, you'll be
It
edited.
says rec.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
good. All right, we're fine.
Right.
We don't want to go through it twice.
No problem.
Thank you.
Well, hi, I'm Robin Steinberg. Welcome to the National Quiz Choice Online News, Save with Haytt for Haytt International Hotels. And here I have a great guest for the Asian Tourist Festival. Her name is Sarah Odedina, and welcome to our show.
Thank you.
And she's responsible for all the Harry Potter series that's been published all over the world. And many folks are now like to know, first of all, the importance of how you're able to bring the manuscript, to life, and how important it is for you to ensure that that this work will not go in vain.
Well, I think all authors work very hard on their books, and it's always very exciting to work with authors on their books. And our job as editors is to help them get their books into the hands of authors. And so, of course, marketing is very important, and publicity is very important, and communicating with authors well in terms of what they want to achieve with their books, and making sure that readers around the world hear that desire from us. So we spend a lot of time doing marketing online. We spend a lot of time communicating directly with booksellers and librarians, and of course we spend a lot of time working with foreign publishers in order to sell translation rights in books that we publish.
Amazing. And here, according to your bio, it says that you have begun your publishing career, with Penguin Books.
Yes.
In the beginning, and then you move on to Watts Publishing Group.
Yes.
And then finally at Bloomsbury Publishing.
Well, not finally at Bloomsbury. I've left Bloomsbury. I'm now starting a new list for Bonnier Publishers called Hotkey Books.
Okay.
Yes.
And so over at Hotkey's Books, are you still in contact with the Harry Potter series, or?
No, that's very much published by Bloomsbury, but I'm still a great fan of J.K. Rowling's work, so I'm sure I shall be reading everything that she writes in the future. But no, I'm no longer involved in the publishing of her work.
What kind of criteria that you could give to authors, when they submit the manuscript to someone like yourself? Could you give advice on 3 steps that they should look out for?
They should be very conscious of the plot of the book. Something should definitely happen in the book. It should have a beginning and a middle and an end. And that may be simplistic, but many things that we read, they have several plot ideas and several things going on in the book, and sometimes you just need one. And authors should be very self-critical to make sure that they are concentrating on one strong plot driving force in the book. They should also be very conscious of characters, because we don't really want to read books in which we don't care about the characters. It's very important to feel empathy for the characters and want to know what happens to them next. And also they should be very conscious of setting, and they should be aware of where their book's set, and they should know it well. So even in a fantasy novel, the author should be aware of the rules of the society in which they've created their novel, and they should keep those in mind and not have irrational things happening. I think those are probably the 3 really important elements for me as an editor.
And in your experience, when you first cast your eyes upon Harry Potter series, the very first book itself, what was it like? And did you imagine that it was going to be the best seller?
I think in-house at Bloomsbury at the time, people were incredibly supportive and enthusiastic of the first book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Everybody felt it was an exceptional book because Jo Rowling is a really fine writer, and she had beautiful plots and fantastic characters who we all cared about, and of course now millions and millions of people care about the characters in that book. She had a lot of humour and a lot of sadness, and so there was the sort of perfect ingredients within that book to be a bestseller.
Amazing. And so what were the challenges that you faced when you were trying to market the first book itself for J.K. Rowling?
In many ways, the first Harry Potter book marketed itself in that people loved it so much they all wanted to talk about it and share it with one another. And that's a really rare situation to be in with a book. And people responded to the fine qualities of the author and what a wonderful writer she is, and then began to discuss it and share it with each other. And of course the people that we're talking about are her readers, and at that point 8, 9, 10-year-olds, so young readers, were really incredibly enthusiastic about the book. And in many ways that was the marketing.
So you're saying that her book was actually just placed in the bookstores without having any reviews or publicity?
No, it was very well reviewed. People liked it very much. Reviewers were very positive about the book and talked about it a lot, and then she was shortlisted for quite a few prizes, which she then consequently went on to win. So the response all around was incredibly favourable.
Now, what would you consider as a bestseller?
Nowadays, I think bestseller is a book that finds its market, finds readers, and continues and lasts longer than a very short period. Unfortunately, in the market nowadays, in the UK particularly, books come and go very quickly. If they're not picked up and loved by people, they perhaps only stay in the shops for about 6 months. So a bestseller really is a book that abides, that will be selling 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. A bestseller is a book that wins prizes. We have quite a few great prizes in the UK and the US, and books that achieve that kind of status we consider to be very successful. And then of course sales. We do like to have good sales on books, and that qualifies for bestsellers as well.
What do you qualify e-books these days? Do you think that e-books are here to stay?
Yes, definitely. I think e-books are here to stay, and I think e-books are a great opportunity for publishers and authors. It's a wonderful new way of us selling stories, and it's a wonderful new way for authors to get their stories into the hands of readers. It's a tremendous opportunity. It's not one that I'm at all threatened by or concerned about for publishers.
And Ms. Sarah, what's next for you? I mean, in your new adventure?
What's next for me is to publish our list and work with wonderful authors, continue to look for great authors for the list. I do believe in publishing authors rather than individual books. I like long-lasting relationships with authors, and the quest is on to find authors that will be hotkey books authors in the coming years and decades.
And what sort of criteria are you looking for? Are you looking for authors that produce very good content, regardless of race and ethnicity?
Yes, absolutely. We look for good content. As I said earlier on, we're really concerned about character, about plot, about setting, about authenticity. And authenticity in the broadest possible sense. So a book can be set in South Africa or Malaysia or America. As long as that book is a real story that people can have empathy with and believe in, then that's a book that we would want to look at for the list.
Someone's asked me online, and they want to pose this question to you, and that is, what was your very first book when you were a child that you loved most?
When I was very small, I liked fairy tales very much. But the first book that I remember being absolutely besotted by was Little House on the Prairie by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I loved it. I wanted to go and live her life.
Oh, it's the same. Likewise, I love that story as well.
Yes,
I grew up on the same line.
Yeah.
And they even have a television series.
Yes, they did.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people that tends to prefer books to the film adaptation, and I have my warm feelings about that book abide to this day. It's a long time since I read it the first time.
So that's how you want to ensure that all content has to be that good.
Yes, that would be wonderful. If I could find the Little House on the Prairie of today, I'd be very, very happy.
And once again, Ms. Sarah, thank you for being on our show.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
We look forward to more content in the years and months to come.
Thank you very much.
And I'm Robin Steinberg at the National Prince Choice. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. That's very nice.
You're welcome.